Is your child missing self-initiated movements? What are self-initiated movements? They're these random baby movements that you've probably seen neurotypical babies do. They flail their arms out, kick their feet, and what those seemingly random movements are actually doing is giving their brains a rich source of information about where their bodies begin and end and how to move their bodies through gravity. Our brains need to know where our body parts are in space, where we begin and end before we can start reaching those milestones of rolling over, coming into sitting, head control, coming up into standing. The brain needs these first random experiences of where our bodies are in space to piece together the millions of pieces that the brain needs to coordinate larger milestones such as sitting up, rolling over, coming up into standing. Now, if your child is developmentally delayed with a rare genetic disorder, that's like my daughter, maybe they have a brain injury, maybe cerebral palsy, maybe just generalized global developmental delays, chances are your baby missed out on some of those self-initiated movements that their brain needed to collect all of those little tiny pieces of information. So my daughter, because of her genetic disorder, didn't have those random self-initiated baby movements, and she would literally lay perfectly still for the first 6 months of her life. So her brain missed out on that rich collection of sensory experiences. And so when I was trying to teach her how to roll over or come up into sitting, her brain didn't have all the pieces. She literally didn't know where her body started and ended and how all of her different body parts connected to help her move through gravity. Now, the easiest way to start filling in any of those missing gaps that your child might have is through something simple called body mapping. And in this video, I'm going to show you 3 easy ways of how to body map and start filling in any of those missing information gaps that your child's brain might have. So the first way to body map is the easiest and the simplest, and you can easily incorporate this into your everyday life with your child. It is by using your own hands. By using your own gentle fingers, you can start shining a spotlight on different body parts to help map those body parts for your child's brain. So you're going to use your soft, gentle hands to explore where your child's body parts begin and where they end. It's sort of like baby massage, but you're not focused on moving anything or doing anything to your child. You're simply using your soft, gentle fingers to shine a spotlight to bring awareness of their brain to their different body parts. So you can accelerate your child's brain's ability to learn by slowing yourself down, by slowing your touch down, because slowing down grabs the brain's attention, and brains can only learn new things when they go slow. And the point is to bring your child's brain's attention to their own body parts. So you can watch as you're exploring their different body parts, the shape, the size, get curious about the width. Where does their leg get a little bit wider? Where does their leg get smaller? The 3-dimensionality of where their leg is in space. And as you're getting curious, watch your child's face. Is your child engaged? Are they curious about what you're doing? Again, the slower you go and the more gentle your touch is, the more their brain can follow along and get curious about what you're doing. Now, if your child isn't engaged and they're looking away, they're whining, they're crying, they're pushing your hand away, that means their brains aren't in a learning mode. They're not gonna learn anything new from the experience. So in those moments, it's best to just stop, take a break, do a different activity, and then you can come back to body mapping when it's a better time. So there's lots of natural opportunities for parents to body map using their own hands during daily care activities. So whenever you're putting on socks, slow down, use gentle hands. Whenever you're changing a diaper, you can slow down as you peel away each tab. When you're wiping their face after a snack, slow down, trace their lips. What's the shape of their top lip? What's the shape of their bottom lip? Where's their chin as you wipe underneath their chin? All the way up to the nose. So you as parents can take these tiny slices of time, slow everything down, and use your fingertips as spotlights to shine awareness and attention to different body parts for your child's brain. And this is going to start filling in any missing gaps that their brain might have about where their body parts are in space. The second way to body map is with interesting toys or objects. So body mapping works best when your child is engaged with what you're doing and their brain is paying attention. And sometimes using a fun object that they really like or is unique for them, or adds a different sensory experience like something hard or something soft, can really give their brains that quality information to help build a stronger foundation. So little toy cars are one of my favorite because you can make fun noises, you can be engaging with your child and playing with them as you're zooming the car up different body parts, noticing how long their arms are, driving underneath their arms, across their tummy, down their leg, over their toes, etc. You can also switch up the different textures. So a soft object is going to give a different sensory experience versus a harder object. So if your child has a favorite soft blanket or a favorite stuffy, you can use that to body map with them too. If this was a soft blankie that they like to snuggle up with, you can trace the curve of their cheek up around their ear, getting curious about the shape of their ear, the shape of their jawline, back around the head, down the arm, around the fingers and the hand. You could even do each individual finger like this with something soft. Again, when you're slowing yourself down and getting curious, you're connecting to their brain. Their brains can't help but become more aware of these different body parts when you slow yourself down and get curious. Different size balls or different textures of balls are really fun for this too. You can roll it down their body, down the length of their leg, up the side of their leg, slowly over top of their head. Compare different size balls, the big ball, and then here's the little ball. So again, I'm sure as parents, you can find lots of interesting objects that your child is naturally drawn to, is naturally engaged with, and use them as a tool to body map and explore where their different body parts are in space. Where do they begin? Where do they end? How are the different body parts related and connected to each other? This is all information that their brains need to be able to coordinate and organize their body to roll over, to come up into sitting and come up into standing. The third way to body map is the most powerful. When you use your child's own body parts, their hands or their feet, to explore where they are in space themselves, it's like a 2-for-1. So they're getting the information of where their body part is in space, but they're also getting the information of where they can reach their body parts, how far can they touch. This self-referencing is so important for the brain. We all continuously self-reference. How many times a day do you touch your face? How many times a day do you smooth your hair back? We are constantly using our hands, our own body parts, to self-reference, to double check where we are in space. And many of our kids, just because of their diagnosis, simply don't have that experience. And so you as parents can help gently guide them and start filling in those experiences with them. So you can gently explore with your child, where is it the most comfortable for them to touch and explore their own bodies, gently guide their hand up along the side of them, their tummy, maybe they can reach their knee. Again, if there's any spasticity here, this might not be possible for every child. So again, make sure your child is comfortable. Brains don't learn anything new if you're forcing anything or if they're uncomfortable or in pain. I've got lots of other options for guided movements inside the Mindful Movement program that you can check out. So however your child is the most comfortable, to start exploring with their own hands and fingers of where their chest is, of where the side of them is, of where the back of them is, of where their feet can move. Can their heel slide up to their knee? Can their toes touch each other? Can their hands slide up to their knee? And explore where their knee is in space, maybe in different positions, maybe with the knee a little bit out, maybe it's easier with the knee a little bit inwards. Get curious with your child. How are their different body parts related to each other? How can they connect to each other? And again, the secret sauce is to slow yourself down. Get curious with your child. Keep them engaged. Some kids will only last 5 to 10 seconds with this. Some kids will last longer. But the beauty of simple body mapping is that you can incorporate it into your everyday life as a parent. You are constantly touching your child for daily self-care activities. It is the perfect opportunity to slow everything down for the extra 10-30 seconds it takes while you're getting them dressed, a diaper change, getting them ready to eat, cleaning up after them, bath time, to start using your fingertips to try some of these body mapping ideas and start filling in any missing gaps that your child's brain just might have about how their body is connected and how their body can possibly move through space. If you want more ideas of how to use gentle, respectful movements to access the potential of your child's brain, hit the subscribe button, and I'll see you in the next video.